It's not just a party country. There's some incredible cultural aspects that are still alive and well here in the country. Let's go. Hey guys, my name is Cargle. I'm an au pair right here in Seville, Spain, and today I'm going to be telling you guys about what being an au pair in Spain is like during the coronavirus. I am doing this video in collaboration with AuPairWorld, so if you're watching this video on AuPairWorld, be sure to go and follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm sure we'll have all that information somewhere around here, and be sure to like the video. AuPairWorld is an absolutely priceless site and resource for all you au pairs out there, so be sure to utilize it. So like I said just a second ago, today I'm going to be telling you guys about what au pairing is like here in Spain during the coronavirus, and I figured the best way to do that is to just show you. So today, instead of just sitting in front of the camera, I'm going to carry you guys along with me as I go and explore different parts of Seville, go to a few of my favorite spots, and I'll tell you guys a bit about what being an au pair is like during the coronavirus pandemic right here in Spain. Alright, that being said, let's jump right into this video. I do have to say, it's a bit nippy this morning in Seville. It's like 65 degrees, which to my northern European friends sounds insane, but a bit chilly for us here in southern Spain. Okay, so the first stop on today's tour is Las Setas in Seville city center. It's about a 10-minute bike ride more or less, so we're gonna get on our way and be there in just a few minutes. Let's go. Alright guys, so I have just arrived in Seville city center. It's a bit noisy, so forgive the background noise. It's about a 5-minute bike ride from my neighborhood, Nervion. But the first thing that I wanted to talk about with being an au pair here in Spain post-COVID-19 is transport. So as you see behind me, these are public bikes available here in Seville. I love them, they're fantastic. But since COVID-19, a lot of people are avoiding public transit like the metros, a tram, which I'm actually hearing, or buses, and opting to either walk or take bikes. So you're seeing a lot more bikes, a lot more walkers in the city, and it is really confusing. If you go and take a bus, say at like rush hour, there's not that many people on it. So if you are coming to Spain during the pandemic and you're thinking about travel, getting around, sometimes these public transit options definitely aren't the cleanest. They are very safe, they're very reliable, but a lot of people are opting to take self-transportation options like electric scooters, bikes, or walking. So that is something you should know. Okay, so I'm gonna walk to Las Setas. It's maybe a 5-minute walk or so from here, and I think I'm gonna get some churros along the way to show you guys, well, it's for research purposes, some classic Spanish churros. Okay, so let's be on our way. We should get there in just a few minutes. Let's go. Just as a bit of a side note, this is definitely the best bookstore in Seville. Se llama Librería Verbo. Incredible. You gotta visit it if you come to Seville. No doubt the virus has changed a lot of things here in Spain, but thank goodness one thing that has not changed is the Spaniards' ability to make some incredible food. So I'm gonna have breakfast and I'll catch up with you guys afterwards to talk about what the nightlife, what the social life is like here in Spain during the COVID-19 pandemic. See you in a second. Alright guys, so I am here at Las Setas. I just left that little cafe, and Las Setas is in the very center of Seville. It's one of the centermost attractions here in the city. There's concerts, there's parties, all kinds of stuff happen right here under this big wooden monument. Super cool place. And I wanted to come here to talk about nightlife and or social life here in Spain as an au pair during the COVID pandemic. So as I'm sure you're aware, Spain is known for its incredible nightlife, off the charts. I myself am not a partier, but even I can say there is something for everyone with the nightlife here in Spain, even if you just want to go and get some tapas late at night with friends. But unfortunately, the pandemic has slowed all of that almost to a halt. If you remember back in the spring of last year, Spain was one of the countries hit the absolute hardest by the COVID pandemic. Now, many people argue as to exactly why that is, some saying it's due to their social lifestyle here in the country, where you kiss people when you meet them, or multi-generational families living in the same house. But whatever the cause, it really did change Spaniards' lives forever, and it has changed a lot of their social habits. I'm sure you've heard of Ibiza and Mallorca as being some of the party capitals of Europe, but being that the pandemic has hit Spain in such a force, a lot of communities are deciding to shut down their clubs and bars until the situation gets better. Now, right now is November the 7th, and COVID cases are once again climbing at a super fast pace here in the country, so officials are scrambling to get it under control, once again closing down nightlife. So I do think a lot of the draw that Spain offers with the boisterous nightlife, the opportunity to make friends, it's kind of gone now because there's no nightlife, you know, there's no partying, there's no bar crawls. It's pretty much just staying at home and or going out earlier in the day. All that to say, Spain is still a fantastic place to be an au pair. That does take a little bit away from it, but that's not all Spain is. It's not just a party country. There's some incredible cultural aspects that are still alive and well here in the country. So now I'm gonna move on to our second location, where I'm gonna talk about au pair life in general here in Spain, some aspects that I think you should know about being an au pair during COVID-19. All right, let's get going. One of my favorite things about Seville as an au pair destination is like that sign I just showed you guys. It is a super walkable city. You can get around pretty much the whole city walking or on a bike, and that is incredible. Coming from the US, that would be impossible to get around my home city on a bike or walking. So that is a great thing that you should know about being an au pair here in Spain. Super walkable. All right, let's go. We're about halfway there. Alright guys, so we have made it to our next destination, the beautiful, stunning Plaza de España. Y'all, I made a friend. Ven aquí. Hola, guapa. Okay guys, so here I am in the stunningly iconic Plaza de España. There's probably not anywhere in Seville quite as iconic as this landmark, and I thought it would be the perfect place to tell you guys a bit about what au pair life is like during the COVID-19 pandemic. So a moment ago in Las Setas, I told you specifically about social life and nightlife here in Spain, but right now I'm going to tell you more of the technical side of au pairing currently, what the job is like, what are some of the struggles we face on a day-to-day basis, and how you might could overcome those if you are looking to be an au pair here in Spain. The first thing I have to say here is everything is a mess. Being that Spain works on a system of different autonomous communities, no one community is doing the exact same thing. So the rules of Andalusia, the community in which I live, is different than that of the rules of Madrid, the capital. So learning to navigate these different little nuances in the COVID pandemic is really challenging here in the country. Working with kids is not easy under normal circumstances. So when you throw in the COVID pandemic, it just gets to be really weird. One of the most mentally difficult things I think about being an au pair here in Spain during the pandemic is you never know what's coming next. So this week, my 4 kids are in school, they're happy, but next week we could get a call saying that the whole family has to quarantine, which means I would too with 4 kids. It would be a lot of extra work, and it would just make for a generally awkward experience, I think, and detract from the overall au pair experience. Another really big thing that you have to think about as an au pair here in Spain is extracurriculars. So as I've been telling you, the situation is getting worse and worse, and each community is looking to curb the spread among young people. Some communities in Spain have chosen to eliminate extracurricular activities outside of school so that kids essentially just go to school and then go straight back home. Of course, that makes our jobs a lot more difficult because we have to deal with the kids, and even some places, including Seville, have closed parks, which means that what do we do with kids once we pick them up? It can be a bit of a delicate situation, and it just makes our jobs a lot more difficult. On top of that, you have to think about always making sure your kids are healthy and happy and safe, so wearing their masks, using hand sanitizer when necessary, maintaining social distancing, and simply put, that is almost impossible. I mean, it's so hard to tell a 6-year-old to always wear a mask or to not get too close to their friends, and as an au pair, that really wears down on you. Now, of course, this isn't just exclusive to Spain, this is all over the world right now, but the government and the authorities here sure don't make it easy on you. Thankfully, the Spanish people and their positive spirits do keep the vibe up here in the country. I don't know if you can see through the vlog today, but I mean, the vibe is generally good here in Spain. They are positive, they're keeping it life, but it's really wearing. You know, it really wears you down over time, and as an au pair, I think it can just become depressing after a while. The last topic that I want to touch on here before I wrap up the video is traveling as an au pair in Spain. As of about a week ago, Spain locked down its internal borders, making it pretty much impossible to travel from one community to another unless you have a really, really good reason. It's also very difficult to travel outside of Spain right now, and even though you can get back in and probably don't have to do a quarantine, getting to other countries is almost out of the picture. Unfortunately, where I'm at right now in Seville, Andalusia has locked down each municipality. So that means that I'm stuck here in Sevilla Capital, or the capital part of Seville, just the city itself. So essentially about 5 kilometers that direction is the furthest I can go, and 5 kilometers that direction is the furthest I can go. So I cannot leave the municipality of Seville right now, and we don't know when that's gonna end. If you are looking to come to Spain to be an au pair, you should be aware that traveling even inside of Spain is pretty much done at the moment, and who knows when it's going to pick back up. It is a very difficult reality to grapple with, but it is something that we're all going to have to learn to deal with. Overall, after almost 6 months in Spain, 4 months pre-COVID, 2 months during COVID, it's a totally different country, but it is still, in my opinion, the best au pair destination. The culture, the language, the people just make it such a rich experience, and I promise, even during a pandemic, you will have the time of your life. Alright guys, so that wraps up my video on what au pairing in Spain is like during the COVID-19 pandemic. If you've enjoyed this video, please be sure to like it, subscribe to AuPairWorld, and use them as a resource. They are incredible, I promise, I promise. Also, be sure to go and subscribe to my channel, and then follow me on Instagram at aupair.gram. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you over on my channel next time. Muchas gracias y hasta luego de Sevilla. Ciao.